Tonight, Snowvember.
I was hoping I'd have a little more time, but obviously not.
A record-setting early taste
No, I mean, I just hope we don't have too harsh of winters.
of the season that's still to come. A Legion hit by a costly crime.
And then all of a sudden they do this to a Legion. I mean, but I guess somebody needs money.
The theft that's left an important gathering place without heat. Industrial plan pushback.
We're uniting around this cause of, protecting our natural spaces.
The development near the Huron Natural Area that some say
I don't feel like we're really looking at the broader picture.
is too close for comfort. Good evening. Parts of southern Ontario, including Kitchener, have been cleaning up from a record-setting snowfall. The early November wintry blast caught a lot of people by surprise and certainly set off some scavenger hunts for gear as well. CTV's Colton Weens now joining us live along a snow-covered street, well, the sides of the streets anyway. Colton, a lot of people would agree this was an unwelcome wake-up call, but pretty significant for this early in November.
Yeah, unwelcome's a good way of putting it, Tony. It definitely has snowed around this time of year before, but it hasn't been so common in recent years. Waterloo Regional Police say in the last 24 hours they received about 51 reports of mostly minor collisions in the community, but residents we spoke with today were mostly shocked at the amount of snow that came down. An early season snowfall bringing both wonder and work to Kitchener residents.
It's mixed emotions. You love seeing the snow, but then you also know that there's an impending sense of a lot of work that's gonna go.
I wasn't ready for it. I actually went for a walk last night, and there was a girl raking leaves and snow, and I come home, looked at my yard. I wasn't sure if I should get the rake out or the shovel.
Being an old man, when I see snow, I say thanks God, but what can you do? We have to do what we have to do. We live in Canada, so.
Yeah. Is it tough to clear?
Well, it is kind of for this age.
Environment Canada saying it's the most snow ever seen in Kitchener on a November 9th.
We are Canadian. We got to put up with it.
A Canadian surprise compared to last year when sunshine followed by a major rainstorm was hitting southern Ontario, but residents say they're mostly ready for winter.
I think I am. We got the snow blower out. We're going to put it in the platform there, and the neighbor's going to give me lessons on how to use it. I've never used it before. Wish me luck.
Fall leaves are one issue visible on many front lawns. The city of Kitchener says it's paused its leaf collection for now and plans to resume it on Wednesday.
So I kept waiting that, let them all fall because we have 2 maples in the front, 2 at the back. And by the time it fell, the first snow came. So I'm trying to figure out, hopefully, end of this week, the temperatures go a bit, higher. Yes. I think there's a bit of sun, and that's when I plan to, again, bring out my lawnmower and pick all of those up. That's the hope. Otherwise, we'll see.
But for some, the first major snowfall is more enjoyment than evil. Select Sports Ski and Snowboard Shop in Kitchener says the early blanket has customers eager to get on the hills.
A lot of familiar faces, a lot of new folks coming in too, so we're just happy to go. We're looking forward to the season. We're not historically on the hill at this time of year, but in years past things were much milder at this time of year. We just need those cold nights and they're happening, so we're almost there.
Now, we did see a snowplow out on the roads in Kitchener today and some smaller machines that were clearing some of the sidewalks in the community. It is expected to warm up a little bit in the coming days, but this snowfall, a good reminder for everyone to get that winter gear ready and those warm clothes ready. Tony.
Sure is. Colton, thank you. CTV's Colton Weens joining us live on location in Kitchener. And Alex is here with our first check on the weather, bundled up out on our patio this evening as well. Alex, a lot of people we were talking about this fact that it was record-setting, this snowfall, and people are going, well, it snows in November, but this was early in November for this kind of snow.
Yeah, that's right. And for that record on Sunday, we saw a total of 14 centimeters. So comparing that to 10.25, that was the previous record that was set. It was actually set back in the 20s and the 30s. So yeah, it's a 92 years since we've beaten that record. So it was quite the significant snowfall. It's a real blast of winter, as we saw. And when we start with those snowfall totals too, just from Environment Canada from today officially. Okay, so total, as we mentioned, 14 centimeters. That's what we hit in terms of the record for Sunday. But we actually saw 1 centimeter more in terms of the overnight into this morning, making a total of 15 centimeters. So that includes today. Cambridge saw 9.5 centimeters of snow. Caledonia, 8.1 centimeters. The city of Mississauga, 11.7. Again, so for those snowfall totals. But yes, feeling definitely a little bit early for the month of November. Okay, in terms of some snow squall watches and warnings, I also want to touch on in terms of current conditions. So some areas in the yellow. If you're impacted by the yellow, you're under a snow squall watch. The red, a snow squall warning. And of course, visibility being a main factor. And even just being outside here of our patio here, just outside of our studio, we're noticing that wind, and there are some flurries still in the sky. So we're going to take a closer look at that, as well as how long this could stick around for this week in your full forecast a little bit later. Tony.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Talk to you soon. A man from Ohsweken is facing 2 charges of attempted murder after a double stabbing over the weekend in Brantford. Let's go to CTV's Krista Simpson now, live with more details on this. Krista.
Tony, Brantford police say they got the call at 2:20 in the morning early Saturday. They say 2 men had been stabbed following an altercation in front of a bar in the Market and Chatham Street area. The suspect ran off. The 2 injured men were taken to hospital, one with serious injuries, the other with injuries deemed to be life-threatening. Police say they made an arrest this morning around 11. A 27-year-old man from Ohsweken is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and other charges related to breaching probation and a release order. He's being held for bail. That happened again on the Market Street and Chatham Streets area of Brantford. Brantford police saying they are looking for information and video footage related to this incident. It can be provided to them directly or through Crime Stoppers. Tony.
Okay, Krista Simpson with that update on that situation in Brantford. Krista, thank you for that. Kitchener Legion is working with police to crack down on a copper wire theft that happened just days before Remembrance Day. The damage is costly, and the Legion is still without heat. But as CTV's Alexandra Hollick explains, the show must go on.
Sounds of synced-up space heaters hum through the Polish Legion in Kitchener. A temporary fix to an untimely problem.
Somebody decided they needed some copper, so they went up there and they damaged everything up there, ripped it all apart, took the copper out, and we haven't had heat since then.
Branch 412 President Stan Howie says it happened sometime between November 1st and 3rd. He believes the thieves climbed a ladder at the side of the building and made their way to one of the rooftop HVAC units.
We called the technician in and he showed us pictures of it, and they just demolished it. And there's no way you could fix it, right? So we have to wait to get a whole new unit.
Damage costs are estimated to be about $44,000, and around $300 worth of copper was stolen. Given the cost to repair, the Legion is purchasing a new HVAC unit, which isn't quick to install.
It's hard to say when they can get one.
Waterloo Regional Police say they're looking into what happened. In the meantime, the Legion says it's doing the best it can.
Now with Remembrance Day coming up, we have some space heaters not running. Hopefully that's going to keep everybody warm.
But Howie says he doesn't understand why someone would target a place honoring those who defended Canada and its people.
Our veterans and that fought for our freedom here in Canada, right? And the Legion halls here are for the veterans and people that believe in the Legion and that, right? And then all of a sudden they do this to a Legion. I mean, but I guess somebody needs money.
Now, despite this latest setback, the Legion says it still plans to host hundreds of people here throughout Remembrance Day with live music and free hot food. Doors open shortly after tomorrow's ceremony. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
A Mississauga senior is recovering in the hospital tonight after sustaining serious injuries over the weekend. The woman was found early Saturday morning in a park, and so far, police haven't been able to determine how she was injured. CTV's John Musselman reports.
Peel Regional Police say the family has asked for privacy, but they confirmed to CTV News that a woman in her 70s wandered away from her apartment complex in Mississauga. This happened sometime on Friday. She was not located until the next morning at Lewis Bradley Park. It's down the street from her apartment complex on Bonnie Mead Drive. Neighbor Chris Cunningham lives in the building and tells CTV News the woman has health issues.
Sadly, she's lived here as long as I have. I think she's actually lived here longer than I have. And it's a really tough situation for the family. From what I can tell, we've all known that she's had dementia for a long time, and it's really gone downhill.
Police say when the woman was found, she had limb injuries. She is recovering in hospital. They won't say for sure if she was attacked by coyotes overnight. When she was located, the woman was suffering with limb injuries to her lower body. At this time, Peel Regional Police cannot confirm or deny that a coyote was responsible for the injuries, as there were no eyewitness accounts. We do not believe the injuries were caused by another person or that foul play was involved. Investigators have interviewed neighbors who live near the park and collected security video. Residents say coyotes are common in this area near South Down Road and Lakeshore Road West in Clarkson.
It's unfortunate that, the coyotes are becoming a little more active in the area and that, it's starting to have influence on people and their pets.
I feel scared. I do.
For his part, Cunningham says people shouldn't fear coyotes despite what may have happened.
I've come across them so many times, but really, and I'm lucky to be a bigger guy, but at the same time, anytime that you see them, they're not coming after you. They realize that you are not the prey they are looking for.
We reached out to the city of Mississauga to find out if there have been any reports of aggressive coyotes in the area. In a statement to CTV News, city officials tell us that the city of Mississauga has no information to confirm what caused the woman's injuries. There have been 10 reported coyote incidents in Mississauga this year involving dogs or cats. No incidents have been reported in Ward 2. That's the location of Lewis Bradley Park in 2025.
And that report was from CTV's John Musselman in Toronto. Ontario's so-called crypto king was accused of taking millions from investors, and court documents are shedding light on one scheme to try to get that money back. As CTV's John Woodward tells us, we are learning more about a kidnapping that lasted for days.
That's the self-styled crypto king, Aidan Platursky, in a surveillance photo at Toronto's Ritz-Carlton Hotel in December 2022. And next to him is Darren Achimpong. He said he was a potential investor, even joined Platursky at a nightclub, but this was a ruse to gain Platursky's trust and seek revenge. Platursky was accused of spending much of the $40 million investors gave him on a lavish lifestyle. Only about $3 million was ever recovered. According to an agreed statement of facts filed in Toronto Superior Court, Achimpong pleaded guilty to being part of an operation to kidnap Platursky in this black Ram truck and get him to give hundreds of thousands of dollars back. Once in that truck on December 5th, Platursky was shown a gun, then driven from Toronto to Smithville, where he was beaten.
We're not going to show this to you, but the court did play a cell phone video recorded in a field in the dark of the kidnappers threatening to shoot Platursky unless he gives them a password. Platursky refuses. One of them pulls the trigger, not to kill him, just to scare him.
Photos show Platursky's injuries from the beating, cigarettes and waterboarding, similar to what he displayed in a video confession these statement of facts say was coerced. Then the kidnappers drove around southern Ontario to Ajax, London and St. Catharines. Surveillance video captured the suspects as they moved around, giving police evidence they would eventually use in charging other alleged kidnappers. 3 days after it began on December 8th, Platursky was dropped off at the Ritz-Carlton. The fate of the other accused has yet to be decided. They've pleaded not guilty. The next trial is slated to start in January. John Woodward, CTV News.
Sign up for the CTV Kitchener newsletter and start your day in the know. We've got a look at the top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos. Sign up at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Finding ways to remember long beyond November 11th. Coming up, CTV's Jeff Pickle on some local projects encouraging us to reflect year-round.
I'm Heather Senerin in Kitchener. Kitchener Council will be discussing a plan to build an industrial park. A group against the project says it's too close for comfort to a big natural park. That story is just that.
More flurries to start off your work and school week. Expected to stick around for a little bit before we get back to seasonal conditions. And with that, some wet weather. I'll break it all down in your full forecast coming up a bit later.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation. These heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
A development that's proposed right beside the Huron Natural Area in Kitchener is leading to some tension in the community. A developer wants to put an industrial park there, but some residents say that's going to impact the wildlife living nearby. It's all expected to be discussed at a city council meeting in Kitchener tonight. CTV's Heather Centerin here now with a preview. Heather, that meeting's starting pretty soon.
The council meeting starts at 7, Tony, where there's about a dozen delegates ready to push back on this. But a Kitchener planning committee, it was approved earlier this month, leaving some worried about that area's future. The Huron Natural Area in Kitchener is a natural park with more than 264 acres of forests, wetlands, and meadows. Developers Gateman Malloy want to build an industrial business park next to it.
So their plan is to remove all the forests and the meadow and everything that's there and replace it with a very large industrial lot.
Ray Angod is part of the group Protect Huron Natural Area, and he's fighting against a project that involves subdivision, splitting a large chunk of land into 10 industrial lots.
We were told it's going to create about 1,800 jobs somehow. So you think about 1,800 people, hundreds of cars in this parking lot right beside, literally right beside, a provincially significant wetland in the Huron Natural Area. And you're maintaining that with salt and chemicals. What's the impact going to be on the surrounding wildlife?
In a staff report, the city said the plans include expanding Huron Natural Area with a new wetland to act as a buffer, but the group against it says that's not enough.
There's no buffer between this new wetland, which is a turtle habitat, and the industrial space with the lights and the noise. So that new wetland is the buffer, but there's going to be wildlife living there. So what's the buffer for them?
A Kitchener Planning Committee already approved the plan, but it's going to council for final approval tonight.
What is disturbing to me as a former councillor is that I don't feel like we're really looking at the broader picture.
Yvonne Fernandez is also part of the group against it and hopes council will reconsider.
I think people don't understand how important ecological areas are to our well-being, to our water sources, to our wildlife.
In a report to council, staff said the land was sold by the city in 2022, but it has been zoned for industrial for over 40 years. The Protect Huron Natural Area group have an online petition, and it has nearly 5,000 signatures. As mentioned, the council meeting starts in just over 30 minutes, where this is expected to be discussed at length. Tony.
Okay, we'll follow up on that later tonight. Heather, thank you. CTV's Heather Centerin joining us live. As we prepare to honor service and sacrifice tomorrow on Remembrance Day, there are also efforts to remember beyond November 11th. CTV's Jeff Pickle tells us about 2 local projects aiming to encourage people to reflect year-round.
It's an excellent design, it's very respectful, and it says everything.
It's a new addition to East Avenue in Kitchener, in front of the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium.
It's very important that we honor our veterans, and this is an excellent way of doing it and putting it out there for everyone to see.
2 local Legion branches, along with the City of Kitchener, installing the city's first Veterans Crosswalk.
Really is an opportunity for pedestrians, cyclists, those who drive by, walk by, to remember the sacrifices that have been made by our veterans, rather.
The striking and permanent image that will last long after November 11th.
When the people cross over, and I'm going to say particularly some of the younger, say perhaps the school children and that, It'll be introducing them and reinforcing and saying, what's this all about?
But they weren't given a lot of instruction in terms of what that poppy should look like.
At Waterloo City Hall, another striking visual.
The clay is so basic and so simple. There's nothing fancy about the concept. You mold these things out of clay, and it couldn't be a more forthright, honest appreciation of the poppy and what the poppy means.
The Canada Clay and Glass Gallery presenting a garden of poppies as part of their Remembrance Every Day exhibition.
The hope is that people take these away and put them on their fridge or wherever they're magnetized.
Co-curator John Short says Remembrance Day has a special meaning to his family.
My grandfather went through the First World War in the trenches, and my father was killed in the Second World War. Lancaster over Germany.
Short says it's important to remember to not repeat the mistakes of history.
And I'm busy making them, and in the midst of it all, I'm getting more and more agitated by the way in which democracy is being challenged around the world.
The public is encouraged to come get a clay poppy from City Hall and make a donation to your local Legion.
There's something that somebody will take away and put somewhere in their home, and hopefully that then becomes a cause for them to think about remembrance.
Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Kitchener.
Well, Canada held a measles-free designation since 1998, but now declining vaccination rates and sporadic outbreaks have stripped the country of this status. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more on what it means.
Measles is one of the world's most contagious diseases, but low vaccination rates leading to a year of outbreaks across the country have lost Canada its measles-free status.
Everything's pointing in the right direction. Unfortunately, we couldn't stop the outbreak completely in time to lose our elimination status. But the direction of travel is that we will get it back.
Canada received its measles elimination status in 1998 after decades of rallying to stop its circulation. But now the virus has come roaring back. From 1998 to 2024, an average of just 91 cases were reported annually. So far this year, 4,800 cases have been confirmed, with another 362 considered probable.
It's because of some localized areas that have been under-immunized, and it's a shame because it's not a reflection of overall Canadian experience.
Measles infects the respiratory tract and then spread throughout the body, with a rash and high fever the most common symptoms. While most recover, it can cause deafness and, in rare cases, death.
The second the rash starts, it's like anybody would know. Literally from head to toe, under their feet, in between their toes, everything.
Michelle Sear's daughter was hospitalized with the measles last month. Sear has no idea where she caught it.
Make sure you do your vaccinations. That's my biggest concern, because if I was a little late with hers, and I think that if I would have got it on time, then maybe she wouldn't have got it.
The Public Health Agency of Canada says transmission is slowing, but that it will take time to finish this outbreak. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
A live look now outside from our photographer Dave Pettit, who is in the Deer Ridge area of Kitchener. Specifically, this is a look along Grand Hill Drive right near Deer Ridge, and you can see that snow that we got on Sunday has been sticking around thanks in part to those chilly winds that we've been getting, keeping things cold and stopping the melt from happening. Alex is back in just a couple of moments to let us know what the rest of the week is looking like. Also coming up, the local cocktail bar that's been aiming to really level up some classics. We'll take a closer look at that on this week's edition of Made Right Here. And also, Mark Carney in the Maritimes, selling the budget, but also unveiling some big projects that are going to get fast-tracked later this week. Well, Alex is making a lot of notes, and that makes me wonder what we're in store for next, because we certainly got, I don't know why this took us all by surprise, but it did, because you were telegraphing this last week that we might be in for some accumulation.
Yeah, and we said anywhere from, maybe a couple centimeters to upwards of 10.
We did.
And we ended up on Sunday getting 14.
Yes, and I think it was just the nature of how early, I mean, it was barely Halloween, a week and a half ago, and here we are looking for our scrapers and our boots and our snow tires. I don't even have my appointment booked yet.
I know.
So.
I had to try to find the scraper. Luckily, we found that pretty quick this morning, but it felt like more like a mid-December day.
It's quite the dress rehearsal.
Yes, than early November. But good news, though, if we could say good news, it looks like some more seasonal conditions are going to be right around the corner. But not before we potentially get to see some more flurry activity. Starting with live look outside this evening. So depending where you are, you may have noticed a little bit of that flurry activity. We noticed it outside of our studio here in Kitchener. That winds are gusting around 28 kilometers an hour at this point. And with the wind chill, it is feeling a lot chillier out there as well. -4 it was when we were sitting outside, feeling closer to -8 or so. So we're definitely feeling like we are in the winter months. But like we said, that could be short-lived as we look ahead to the next few days. But yes, starting with some snowfall totals from Environment Canada. So as of Monday, so as of today, Kitchener saw a total 15 centimeters. But the record that we did set, 14 centimeters, that was set for just yesterday, so just Sunday alone. So this was compared to 10.2 centimeters. That was the previous record set on a November 9th date. And it was actually a tie back in 1921 and 1933. So definitely beating that record. And it was a 92-year record as well. In terms of snowfall totals for some other areas, City of Cambridge, 9.5 centimeters. Caledonia, 8.1 centimeters. So many of us, like we said, not digging out extensively, but definitely noticing more winter-like weather in the air. Moving on to snow squall watches and the warnings that we are seeing this hour too, also issued by Environment Canada this afternoon. So the watch anywhere in the yellow. So if you're in the Stratford area, Listowel, for example, Mitchell impacted by this, and a little bit further north of Mount Forest. So some areas in Flesherton, Owen Sound, for example, impacted by the warning, as well as a little bit more south and towards the west. So Sarnia, London, for example. So with that watch, later as we get into the evening, into Tuesday morning, we could see more localized snowfall totals, anywhere from 10 to 20 centimeters possible. And for that warning, again, also expected right through the evening into tomorrow as well. So this due to lake effect snow that is intensifying later on, anywhere from 15 to 30 centimeters is possible. And with this, of course, visibility becomes a major concern. So if you do have to be out on the roads, just take caution there. So looking at our futurecast for the rest of the evening, chance for a bit of those flurries expected to continue. At this point, we're seeing about a 40% chance as we get into the evening, the overnight hours as well. We could get a break around 1 o'clock or so here for us here in the city of Kitchener, but it's really not until Wednesday that we could slightly see a little bit of a warm up by a few degrees. And then, of course, potentially some rain could be on the way again. So that is expected to clear out some of the snow that we have seen earlier in the week. So Wednesday evening or so, if you're going to be a little bit more north, so the Wyerton, Barrie, even Orillia area, potentially a little bit heavier from time to time. And then we should be getting back to more seasonal conditions later in the week. In terms of some current conditions around the province, -5 in Sudbury, -4 in Timmins this hour. So quite chilly a little bit north. But even here, -5 it is in Mount Forest, -3 in Goderich. But again, with that wind chill, it's feeling a little bit cooler than those -5. So right now, we're still at -4 here in Kitchener-Waterloo, -3 right now in the city of Hamilton. So overnight, -6 is what we're expected to dip down to with that wind chill, feeling closer to -12. So quite chilly, mainly cloudy. And like we said, those flurries expected to stick with us into the overnight and early morning hours. So just a few flurries to start off your day. That risk of snow squalls in the morning, and we potentially could see around that 5 centimeters of accumulation possible. So we're definitely above seasonal for this time of year. Normal for this time, 7 degrees. A record high, 22.7, that was set back on this day in 2020. And that sun now going down 5:02 p.m. officially. So again, Wednesday, that's when we potentially could see the slight warm-up start, chance for some wet weather. We should be getting back to seasonal for Friday, and it looks like we're going to be in for a little bit of sunshine at this point, which will be nice to see as well. For Lambton, Kenton, Essex, 30% chance of flurries we're seeing for your Tuesday. Changing then to showers and getting back up to about 8 degrees, so slightly above seasonal for you. And you could hit double digits by the end of the week as well. And Southern Georgian Bay, chance of flurries or rain in the forecast possible for you for tomorrow, high of 3, before we could see a bit more cloud cover build up with, again, some chance for some wet weather. And here is tonight's Weather Watcher picture. And I've got to say, this one's probably a perfect one, Tony, for today. Summing up the weekend and starting off a fresh week with you know, it's when fall meets winter-like weather.
Oh, they met.
They sure did. Gareth sending in this shot from Breslau and said, what a change from Saturday to Sunday, no kidding, but what beauty to be observed with the colorful leaves against the white snow. And Gareth, you're right, you know, it is quite picturesque and it is really lovely to get out and enjoy. I don't mind it. It's the wind chill, and if we have those wind gusts like upwards of, you know, 30, that's maybe for me a bit much.
That's when it gets a bit nasty.
Yeah.
Gareth is right, though. I mean, it is beautiful until you saw the shots that we had in Colton's story where people are shoveling the sidewalks and you're getting snow and leaves and piles of dirt all together. Then we're going, okay, this is a bit too much of a collision of seasons.
Yeah, but we should warm up a little bit, and then I'm sure more winter weather will be on the way.
I like it. Thinking up. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Well, the Prime Minister was out selling the federal budget in the East Coast today, meeting with New Brunswick's Premier. Mark Carney then announced the next round of major projects that will be revealed on Thursday. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on what the provinces want.
With this next round of major projects, the government will face even more pressure to please every province. And the Prime Minister was providing few hints as to where they will go.
The next round of major projects is going to be announced later this week, on Thursday.
So we know when, but we don't know what will be announced in the second phase of the so-called nation-building projects. New Brunswick was left off the first list in September, but Premier Susan Holt is hopeful that won't happen this time.
We've been working hard on a number of projects, and the announcement won't be the Interties. It will be one of the other projects that we've been pushing for.
The first round of projects to have federal support included LNG expansion in BC, a small modular reactor project in Ontario, expanded port facilities in Montreal, and 2 mines in Western Canada. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is pushing for a bitumen pipeline to Tidewater to be on the next list. On her radio show this weekend, she said she's in discussions with the federal government.
We've been going back and forth now daily on a memorandum of understanding, and I hope that we're able to iron out some of the differences that we have in time for Grey Cup or shortly after.
BC's premier has pushed back on a pipeline running through his province, but Prime Minister Carney hasn't ruled one out, possibly dropping a hint last Friday.
One of the things with, don't worry, we're on the pipeline stuff. Danielle's on line 1. Don't worry, it's going to happen. But well, something's going to happen, let's put it that way.
The Prime Minister's announcement will be in Prince Rupert, BC, perhaps an indication that province will see the approval of another major project. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
World leaders and climate experts are in Brazil this week for the start of the Global Climate Summit, COP30. On the agenda is how to rein in the climate crisis before catastrophic warming becomes inevitable. CTV's Scott Hurst has more on that.
International leaders are being urged to tackle the climate crisis with more urgency and more cooperation, but it comes at a time when some key global partners appear to be backing away from the climate fight.
I am very worried about Canada's participation, given that the recent signals that we have gotten from Prime Minister Carney and his government have only been about moving back on existing policy.
The Canadian delegation might face some criticism at the COP30 summit getting underway in Brazil as climate observers point to the recent budget that's big on development and an expansion of energy projects, but a retreat of some Trudeau-era climate policies. Environment Minister Julie Tabruzin, who's leading Canada's delegation, however, pitching the Liberals' climate competitiveness strategy as a shifting approach that she claims will connect climate ambitions with economic growth. But the framework is short on details and provides no update on where Canada stands on emission reduction targets.
This strategy connects our climate ambition with a plan for economic growth. It prioritizes measures that deliver the greatest emissions reductions and increases competitiveness at the lowest cost for Canadians.
To no surprise, U.S. President Donald Trump is not attending COP30. He's been critical of climate science and has pulled the U.S. from the landmark Paris Agreement of a decade ago, meant as a framework to hold nations accountable in limiting warming. That's leading to questions about the relevancy of the summit and its ability to pull nations together when some are pulling back. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
The shift away from U.S. liquors and wines is adding up, yet some Canadian liquor and wine producers are still hitting roadblocks getting their products to more of the country. That's next. Canada Post has submitted a plan to the federal government to make its business model financially sustainable. In September, Ottawa gave the Crown Corporation 45 days to deliver a blueprint. Canada Post says it won't share details of its proposal until it's approved by the government. The corporation's experienced billions of dollars in annual losses in recent years. Despite the push to buy Canadian and agreements meant to ease trade restrictions, Canadian alcohol producers still face major barriers when trying to sell to other parts of this country. That's according to a new report from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. That report blames outdated rules and complicated processes for blocking Canadian producers from reaching new domestic markets. They say a lack of energy for change has resulted in a fragmented system that drives up costs, limits choices, and stifles small producers' growth. The CFIB is urging the provinces to work together to implement commitments made under the Canadian Free Trade Agreement and recent memoranda of understanding on direct-to-consumer alcohol sales, including a strategic rollout plan for May. It appears the decision by Canadian provinces to pull U.S. wines and liquors from store shelves is having an impact as U.S. sales have fallen. That's created an opening in the market, and Canadian vineyards are hoping to fill it. According to the California-based Wine Institute, U.S. wine sales in Canada fell 91% in the second quarter of this year. The president of Wine Growers Nova Scotia says wineries in that province have seen an uptick in sales with a lack of American products on the shelves. The Liquor Control Board of Ontario says sales on Ontario VQA wines, which are made entirely from local grapes, are up 67% year over year, and red wine sales have risen 80%. Okay, time to recap our top stories. Leanne Evans with us in studio tonight with all the latest. Leanne, we saw record-setting snowfall here in the city of Kitchener.
Yeah, Tony, I think the early November wintry blast caught many people by surprise, including myself. According to Environment Canada, the 14 centimeters of snow we saw is the new record set in Kitchener on November 9th. The city of Kitchener decided to pause its leaf collection for now and plans to resume it on Wednesday. Waterloo Regional Police say they've received 51 reports of mostly minor crashes in the past 24 hours. A 27-year-old man is facing 2 charges of attempted murder after a double stabbing this weekend in Brantford. Police say an altercation broke out in front of a bar in the Market and Chatham Streets area early Saturday morning. The suspect ran off. The 2 people hurt were taken to hospital. One had serious injuries, the other with life-threatening. The 27-year-old man from Ohsweken faces multiple charges, including 2 counts of attempted murder.
And from our website tonight, Leanne, our digital teams rounded up all of the details that people can use for planning tomorrow heading out to Remembrance Day services.
Yes, and we will also be live streaming the Remembrance Day ceremony that is happening at the Kitchener Cenotaph on our website. If you're not able to make it out to one, you can watch that one online. But there are several ceremonies happening in Kitchener, Brantford, Cambridge, Guelph, Paris, Fergus, Stratford, and in many more communities too. Our digital team has all the details on where and when to go. You can check that out by scanning the QR code or going to ctvnewskitchener.ca. Again, if you can't make it out, we will have that live stream up online.
And that is good to know. Okay, Leanne, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Classic Canadian cocktails with over-the-top twists. 1858 Caesar Bar serves in a space that was once home to a famous Waterloo lunch spot. We check out their offerings tonight, including what they call the most decadent Caesar on the menu in this week's edition of Made Right Here.
Hi, I'm Libby Walker. I'm one of the owners here at 1858 Caesar Bar Waterloo, and we are a bar specializing in Canada's cocktail, the Caesar. This is the original Harmony Lunch spot here in Waterloo, and we are really excited to move the Caesar Bar here because me and my sister grew up going to Harmony Lunch with our grandparents and parents, and it's very sentimental to our hearts.
So we have our Clamato keg here. We use Mott's Clamato juice. Similar to a beer keg, it works the exact same. Underneath here, we have our Clamato kegs. Each one holds about 9 jugs of our Mott's Clamato juice. And it pours just kind of the same as beer would.
We have about 30 to 40 Caesars on our menu. We have vegan options as well. Our Caesars are different from others because we have the Elixir. It's a mixture of Worcestershire, hot sauce, and about 16 different spices. So today we're going to be making the big one. It's a $120 Caesar. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes to make.
We're at our rimmer station here. Each of our Caesars has a unique rimmer that they'll use depending on which one the guest selects. Today, since we're making the big one, we'll be using the bold and savory rimmer. So first we're rimming it in lemon juice and then onto the bold and savory.
It basically comes with everything in our kitchen in our bar area. Some of the items include a big carnival pretzel, snow crab legs, lobster tail, shrimp, beef, chicken, every vegetable you can imagine. It's a bottle service version of a Caesar. We like to dim the lights when somebody has ordered it and blast the song Thunderstruck, and you get a sparkler with your big one, and you actually get to bring the mug home. The original location in Collingwood is the one who came up with this idea, and we're following through with it, and the people of Waterloo have seemed to love it. Our Caesars are amazing, but overall it's the experience of coming to an 1858. We try to provide exceptional service every single customer and creating a welcoming atmosphere.
A local upgrade to train the auto sector workers of tomorrow. Coming up, a major manufacturer's contribution to Conestoga College and the skills it will help students sharpen. Well, students training to work in areas like the auto sector will soon have some new tools at their disposal at Conestoga College. CTV's Karis Mapp tells us how a $2 million donation from Toyota is expected to level up the focus on the mechanics of manufacturing.
That's not the sound of popcorn popping, but rather an assembly line hard at work. A $2 million donation from Toyota will allow for 3 more lines like this one to fill the lab at Conestoga College's School of Engineering and Technology.
We built the first line, so the money is going to actually go to building the other 3 lines, as well as adding some more bells and whistles for the latest and greatest technology in Industry 4.0.
Setting a new learning standard for colleges across the province.
We've already gotten portions of the funding that we've used to purchase the bulk of the materials, and we managed to get that in right before the tariffs really started to have an effect. So when they're learning here, they're learning with industry items as opposed to learning with just buttons and lights.
Isam Sagiri is a second-year co-op student who has worked with the school's current manufacturing line. He says future students will only benefit from the experience.
I would be able to learn new stuff with robotics, automation, mechanical, designing, a lot of things, and troubleshooting as well.
The students may not be building car parts at the Cambridge campus, but the experience prepares them with the skills to be successful across the automotive sector.
Toyota hires a fair number of co-op students from our programs so that they're helping in the maintenance departments, they're helping in production departments where they can help keep the lines running, do small continuous improvement projects.
In an emailed statement to CTV News, Toyota's president said they're helping cultivate the next generation of skilled professionals.
I was able to understand how to work with safety equipment and understand how to use new tools to automate a line. And that was really a good experience for me.
The 3 lines are currently being built and set to be finished by spring of next year. But Conestoga officials say they won't be delivered here until September once they finish redecorating the labs to highlight Toyota's contributions. Karis Mapp, CTV News, Cambridge.
And more news coming up. First, let's check in with Alex.
Still feeling winter-like out there. Getting to the overnight -6 is what we could expect to see, but feeling more like -12 with the wind chill. We'll take a look at how things could be first thing in the morning and wake-up weather coming up. Plenty of great entertainment right here for your Monday night. Stick around for Tracker at 7, then St. Denis Medical at 8 before Stumble, and then The Voice is running at 9 before The Weakest Link.
I'm Andrew Johnson. Tonight on CTV National News, inside the country's largest Royal Canadian Legion.
It's an amazing place. It's a beautiful building.
How one BC branch has managed to thrive and why there's new hope at Legions right across the country. Tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
It's Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning.
3 awesome people that want to start your day or finish your overnight shift.
You'll laugh, you'll text, you'll call, you'll scratch your head, and maybe even beat Backstage Ben. Weekday mornings from 5:30 to 10.
Listen live on the iHeartRadio app or at 105.3 Virgin Radio.
Okay, we are, I believe, now going to check in with Leanne. Sorry, my prompter was in the wrong spot. Leanne, sorry, go right ahead and tell us what's coming up later tonight.
Well, Tony, we will be following the Kitchener City Council meeting tonight where a hot button topic will be discussed. A developer wants to build an industrial park adjacent to Huron Natural Area, but some residents say doing so will impact the wildlife that live nearby. A dozen delegates are set to speak at tonight's meeting, and that gets underway in just a few minutes. So we'll bring you the latest on that at 11:30. Tony.
Sounds good, Leanne. Thank you for getting us back on track, as always. You see, Alex, it was that snow on the weekend. There's a wrinkle in the matrix now, and everybody is feeling it.
I'll take the blame. We were chatting in that commercial break, and
no,
get
not at
carried
all.
away.
Not at all.
It happens.
But I am still thrown by all of this because I was telling you earlier, or maybe it was Leanne I was telling earlier, I didn't have my winter tires booked yet. I should clarify. I've got it booked, but I'm that person who now has to wait until December to get it done.
Of course.
I waited too long.
You're not going to be alone. Many people, I'm sure, in that boat as well. But yeah, I mean, that snow still falling out there too. Flurries, depending where you are. We noticed it right side of our studio here. In terms of the overnight, chance of flurries, about a 40% chance sticking with us. And then we should see scattered flurries by about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, -3. By 10, we should be hitting 1. And again, some flurry activity, but Wednesday onward, it should slowly be warming up back to more seasonal conditions. But again, some wet weather could be in the forecast. And I know we mentioned really quick too, Rob Kuhn from Environment Canada telling us 6 weeks ago, 25 to 30 it was. So just to leave that there with you.
6 weeks ago.
Just
wow.
6 weeks ago.
It feels like a lot's happened in just 6 weeks, doesn't it?
Yeah, and here we are.
Here we are. And we'll be back with you tonight at 11:30. Have a good night.
Take care.